I'm Eric Harley at the Mid-America Trucking Show 2012. Joining us right now is the Delo brand manager for Chevron, James Gambill. James, how are you?
I'm doing great, Eric.
Hey, let's talk about what Chevron is doing here at the Mid-America Show. Tell us what you unveiled today.
Hey, what we did at the truck show is unveil a new natural gas engine oil for mobile applications.
Wow.
Some of the fleets are considering this kind of application. Some of the OEMs, in particular Cummins, are having some good luck.
Right.
And we did some research. We've been at this for a while.
Yeah.
And so we did some research and said, hey, we need to kind of make sure we have a product that can address that need.
Yeah. Is this the first natural gas engine oil from Chevron?
No, it's not. We actually were probably the first to do it over a dozen years ago.
Right.
School buses, inner city fleets have been doing it for a while. The school bus fleets and the municipal fleets.
Right.
And so they've been at it for a while, and so we've had a product. Lately, the short haul fleets.
Yeah.
And some of the activity is starting to have it grow.
Right.
And so what we've done is we've kind of upgraded the product and, reformulated it, as you do periodically anyway.
Sure.
And made sure it makes the latest specs and is ready to go.
And is that what's driving it, some of that demand that's out there, this growing demand? Because I'm hearing a lot of chatter about natural gas and everything else. So what is it really that was behind this development?
Yeah, I think, what's behind the development is, of course, the price of the gas relative to diesel fuel is what's driving the interest.
Yeah.
In terms of real demand, it's still pretty much a niche.
Yeah.
People are having a portion of their fleet or a part of their fleet, and it's centered in some of the major metro areas where people may be more concerned about it. But it's still significant. Like you said, there's a lot of chatter, and what we want to do is make sure we serve the customers. So if they have a portion of their fleet that wants to use these kinds of engines, we want to make sure we have products that can meet all their needs.
Yeah, I've only been here a couple of days, but I'm hearing a lot of talk here at the Mid-America Show about natural gas. Are you hearing the same?
Yeah, there's a lot of interest, a lot of new products, and again, I think it's really spurred by the economic developments, the relative price. I mean, it's a very attractive value proposition right now for many fleets.
I was thinking about this the other day. We actually had a caller that called in, and he actually bought a surplus vehicle, a government surplus vehicle that runs on natural gas, and we got into some great conversations. And I was thinking about, of course, the trucking industry and everything else. So one of the questions that came up in my mind is how the oil formulations differ between natural gas and diesel-powered vehicles. What's the difference here? Well,
there is a real difference. They're two different fuels.
Yeah.
And people need to kind of recognize that. The natural gas burns much hotter. And it also, the byproducts of combustion are a little different.
Right.
And we talk a lot about oxidation, where the oxygen from the combustion process breaks down the oil. Here it's about nitration, the nitrogen. So it's a little different process.
Yeah.
So you need to have a little bit different oil analysis. You need to look maybe more closely at total acid number, TAN, as opposed to maybe what's more traditional, the total base number, TBN.
Yeah.
The oil analysis labs, they can handle this, but you just got to make sure you let them know, hey, I'm doing oil analysis on a natural gas-powered vehicle, and they'll adjust it.
Yeah. What considerations are there for the intervals in terms of natural gas vehicles? I mean, on the oil drains, what are we looking at?
Yeah, I think this is one of the bigger surprises people have when they expect it. But because it runs so much hotter, many of the OEMs have much shorter drain intervals. We were dealing with a fleet recently with some Cummins ISLGs, the natural gas version of their popular ISL product.
Right.
And the drain interval is 7,500 miles.
Right.
As opposed to maybe 25 or 30 for a diesel counterpart. So, it's a 25-30% of it, so you have to use a lot more oil for the same period of time. So it kind of offsets part of that benefit that you might get.
Right.
But certainly at today's prices, not a lot of it.
Yeah, some of the fleets are trying to stretch those intervals these days. They're really trying to get the most out of their operation. So if they're pushing those oil drain intervals here, what do they need to do in terms of oil analysis?
Yeah, I think if they're pushing the drains, we do want them to do the oil analysis. We started talking about it a little bit.
Okay.
Some things are the same, though. We didn't get to cover that. The wear is the same. You still have coolant issues because you still have coolant in these engines. So those are the same. The other thing you want to make sure you look at is just make sure you look at total acid number in addition to the total base number.
Right.
And the most important thing probably is the most obvious is let the oil analysis lab know that it's natural gas powered, and then they should adjust the package. Any good lab will adjust the analysis they do for you.
Yeah.
Because you don't need to be a chemist necessarily, but what you you want to know is this oil still continue? Is it okay for use?
Right.
Is my drain interval appropriate?
Right.
And they can help you with that. But if they don't know that it's natural gas, they could easily miss it, and you could actually get yourself into trouble.
Yeah. Describe what's going on there at the Chevron booth this year. I mean, it's you guys are always busy and have some great things at your booth. What will drivers see?
Oh, I think when they come by, first they have a chance to win some free Delo.
Yeah.
When they come by, and that's always a good thing. Free stuff, people tend to aggregate to that. I think the other thing we have going on is we've just torn down and we got the parts out there on a 1.5 million mile engine.
Yeah.
You know, if you think about it, that's an engine that's had Delo in it for 15 years.
Right.
And the parts look absolutely amazing, so they should come by and take a look at it. Mm-hmm. They're untouched. We took them out. The only thing we did was kind of drip dry them so they weren't so drippy with oil.
Right.
But I think they look really great in the case, and I think people can really take a look at true durability because it takes time, I think, to see some of the impacts of really good oils.
Yeah. Always good talking to you, Jim. Jim Gambill from Chevron. Thanks for your time today.
Well, thank you, Eric. Always a pleasure.